Hey everyone, welcome to Explorations, the thigh abduction, adduction, now with hip flexion. So all that means, again, is thigh in and out with the hip bent. So journaling is going to be, again, number one. What do you currently feel? Where in your body do you feel it? Accurately describe it. Put it into words, make it a reality. Now, how is it affecting how you move and your day? 6 to 12 repetitions will be performed on each side, and make sure each position is pain-free with no cramping. Control the pace, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down, and from here we are looking for the position that is the most difficult to control and is pain-free, and that's what we're going to write down to create an exercise for later to move and feel better. We're going to start in a standing position. Make sure that that hand is anchored on a chair or a bench. If you got a massage table, that's awesome. And what we're going to do is we're bringing that leg out to the side, but you notice that my hip is bent forward, so my chest is forward. And what that does is it puts our hip in a completely different position. And all of these are primarily going to be hip bent position. So when I'm doing that, make sure the foot doesn't rotate out to the side or rotate in. Keep it all under control. And if it doesn't go that high, that's okay too. We're going to go, again, 5 to 12 repetitions to each side. Slowly go through it. It takes me about 2 to 3 seconds to lift, 2 to 3 seconds to lower. My hand is supported on the bench, and my other hand is on my hip to make sure that I have an understanding of what's happening at my torso too. Sometimes I actually look at my leg to see if I'm pointing that toe out or the toe in, or if I'm keeping my leg straight or my knee bent, and all that's okay. I'm just making note of it. No expectations. Now from here I have a slight bend in my knee. My hip is right around 90 degrees. If you need to lean back with this, that's okay. I prefer to do this one on the floor. The only reason that I'm on this massage table is so it's easier to see. And you notice that my right leg is a little off to the side while I have to keep my left leg up so it doesn't fall off the table. I'm slightly back. I'm a little off of 90 degrees of sitting upright, and my back is having trouble staying flat. And that's just something that I noticed. It doesn't have to be that way, just as long as it feels okay, that you're not straining to do this range of motion. All these positions should feel pretty effortless, and the whole point of doing it is just noticing what you can and cannot handle. So as I'm sliding my leg along the table, it doesn't take me a whole lot of energy to do that. If it did, I wouldn't go nearly as far. I make sure that I'm in control and command of my leg, and I'm just watching it to see how it moves and how I feel. So from here, I'm going to go to my side, and when I go to my side, my hips are bent at an angle like right around 45 to 90 degrees, whatever I can handle. And what I do is just like what I did when I had the knees bent in the knee flexion series, where I try to keep my shins parallel when I come down and up. So they're parallel with the floor or parallel with the other shin. And I'm just monitoring how my hip feels as I bring them up and bring them back down. From here, I go to my quadruped position, which means hands and knees. And I'm going to show you a variation right after this you can do with your sofa that's even easier. If you have trouble with hands and knees position, or the knees are a little tender when you're in a kneeling stance, or this is just uncomfortable, I'll show you the modification. So as I'm doing this, I'm anchoring with my hands. I'm slowly bringing my leg out to the side with a bent knee position, trying to control my leg. And you notice that left leg I'm kicking out just a little bit. And that's okay. I just know that I had trouble controlling that. And I'm seeing if it's going to get better as I'm doing this. My pelvis is tilted a little bit, and I'm just recognizing how I'm controlling it and if I'm even aware of any of these things. That's why it's nice to have a mirror sometimes when you do this. You can watch yourself. So here is the opposite way of doing this, where I don't have to go hands and knees. I can use a sofa and just lie on the sofa, or I'm on the side of a bed, and I just do that bent knee position while my hip is bent, and I'm sliding the leg out to the side and bringing it back in. Very, very simple. And also, if you have trouble getting up from the ground or down to the ground, this is a great option. And again, here's me trying to control that left hip and I'm having some difficulty where I want to bring that leg back instead of to the side. And I noticed that and I journaled that during this exercise, because in that prone position or that stomach facing down position, this is one of the most difficult positions and exercises for me. So I'm going to work on this later, taking down that information. Now we're going into our last position, which is the sideline position. Again, my hip will be bent around 90 degrees. It's like 70, 80 degrees in this one. My knee is bent to 90 degrees. I'm slowly raising the thigh off of the other thigh. My head is cradled in the other arm so that it's just nice and supported, and I'm comfortably raising this up. And again, only go into positions where you feel secure and safe. We're creating safety. We're creating what we're going to work on next. So now the second part of the journaling process is, how do you feel right now? What's changed? Has anything changed at all? And be accurate with it. Use some energy to actually describe it. And then, how does it affect how you move now? Lastly, let's pinpoint that position that is pain-free but super difficult to control. So now we're going to build that exercise out to have it feel and move better in seconds.